Attention, attention, all weirdo residents. This is not a safe space. I repeat, all weirdo residents. This is not a safe space. That is all. What is up? What is up? Seeker of indecency and fucking fellow weirdos. I honestly, if you can't tell, I never know what my intro is. I don't really listen to the episodes that I record before this, so I never really pay attention to how I start them. So it always starts sounding awkward. But what is up? How you doing? I was supposed to record this the 31st. I didn't get around to this, but I'm doing it now anyway. So this episode is gonna be a little weird. It's gonna be a 2016 recap episode. However, it's gonna be my recap, like things that have happened to me, personally. So if you're not into my personal life, then I understand. You go on, you live what you do. You're probably making the smarter decision. However, for all you degenerate fucks who have nothing better to do and are like to torture yourselves, just strap in and let's talk for a little while. You guys keep me company. I'll enjoy it. So yeah, it's 2016, and there's just some things I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over some of the disappointing moments. I'm gonna go over, how I've changed or new things I've realized about myself, or new things that have happened that I can't really necessarily say is good or bad. Then there's also the weird things that happened to me, some just weird things that I've experienced over the year. And then there's like some things that I would say is like fun, good moments, like things I definitely did enjoy. However, before we get to that, I do have to warn you that I don't remember shit from before May 2016. It was honestly the first thing I remember in 2016 is Harambe. It's not the first thing, but that will come up later on. It's in my topics. That will come up later on. The first exact thing that happened in 2016. However, the first thing I remember in 2016 that doesn't involve another person is Harambe. That was honestly all I remembered. Like when Facebook blew up about Harambe, that was the last thing I remembered. That's honestly the last thing I remember about 2016 before the summer, and that is pretty much it. That is pretty much it. So I gotta warn you, it's really not much. It's honestly from the second half of 2016. So if you're good with that, we can go. Also, I would like to say rest in peace to everybody, to every icon that died in the blackest night of 2016. And if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, it's a Green Lantern event. So you can go Google it. Google Green Lantern Blackest Night. It's a comic book. And you probably enjoy it. But yeah, so I wanted to get that out of the way because we lost a fuck ton of celebrities. We lost a fuck ton of people, period. But in terms of all perceived relevance, those icons were fucking they were big. To lose all of them over the course of a year, it was big. Especially what happened in between Christmas and New Year's, it's fucking big. So hey, to everybody who else that died in 2016, it's not that they weren't relevant, it's just that they weren't as well known. So they're relevant to the people in their lives, but you gotta understand that, if they didn't know them, then they couldn't have affected them, and they can't really feel for them, to a certain level. But we're gonna get into it, and to keep this positive, I'm gonna do the disappointing moments first, because that's far easier to fucking do. Honestly, I like to fucking end this on a positive note. It's weird for me. It's fucking weird for someone like me to fucking do that. But I just want to do it. I just actually want to do something positive to start off 2017, and it's not because it's fucking 2017, but only because I haven't made a video in a while. That's pretty much it. I'm not with that new year, new me shit. I'm like, no. No, 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 no. I'm still the same fucking person I am. Honestly, if you wait until a new year has started to change what the fuck you're doing, I'm just like, you really didn't want to change. Come on, man. Like, if you're gonna change regardless. Like, if you said, well, I need to change this, and you said that in July, if you wait all the way till January 1st to fucking do it, you didn't really care. Um, anyway, let me stop fucking around with that. So, some disappointments, some disappointing moments, some disappointing things that happened in 2016 for me. Um, I have a general list, and hopefully, as I go through the list, my memory will come back to me, better, like, so I can be more detailed. Because I have a terrible short-term memory, but my long-term memory is better. So, you'll have to forgive me if I forget anything or whatever. But if I do forget, you wouldn't fucking know, because you don't know what the fuck I was going to talk about. Anyway, Bleach. At the ending of Bleach is probably one of the most disappointing things of 2016 for me, because I was so hyped for Bleach. I really was, because Bleach is one of my favorite manga series ever. Well, a series overall, whether it be Western or Eastern, wherever, but it's one of my favorites because it was one of the best looking mangas ever. Like, Tite Kubo can fucking draw, which is a fucking understatement, but he can draw. But that ending was just really fucking disappointing, and we really didn't have much. We didn't really have much closure. We just, oh man, it was just a fucking blow. It really was a fucking blow, and I really don't blame him. I really don't blame him. Honestly, I really do not blame him because it was the publisher. It was Shonen Jump who were putting pressure on him because Bleach was falling off. So I can't, because if he had more time, he would have given us a much, much, much better ending. And I'm not gonna go into everything that made that ending whack to me, because I'm pretty sure I have talked about it already. But that is one of the most disappointing things of 2016. Also, X-Men Apocalypse, also fucking disappointing. Apocalypse is one of my favorite X-Men villains ever, and for him to fucking, be represented like that, Fox is fucking up. Bryan Singer is fucking up. Honestly, I fucking hated that movie. I really did. I really hated that movie. I really do. And the fucked up part is I like Michael Fassbender. I really do like him. I really do like him as Magneto, but he can't even save that movie for me because that movie was a piece of shit. Like McAvoy and Fassbender, they were great. They were great. Evan, the guy who played Quicksilver, he was good too. But still, just that movie was a fucking blow because they didn't give Apocalypse. They didn't have him accurate, and it's not like Marvel where, oh, we're gonna change some things, but we're gonna keep it pretty much accurate on the thing we're changing. But no, like Fox says, we're gonna change this, and we don't give a shit. So that's X-Men Apocalypse, and then Batman versus Superman. This is also disappointing me for a variety of reasons. Because I liked the movie, it just did not live up to my expectations. But I enjoyed the movie. I really did. I enjoyed the movie. But it definitely did not live up to my expectations because it was honestly just an okay movie. It wasn't, knock it out of the park. Oh my God, the greatest thing ever. Just like the Batman versus Superman fanboys were saying it's going to be. And I wanted it to fucking succeed. And I guess by box office standards, it did succeed because it made a shitload of money. But it's, the quality wasn't exactly there. And unfortunately, the fucking Batman versus Superman fight in the movie was very underwhelming, in my opinion. Very underwhelming. Like, really, like the Batman training scene right before he goes and he's just working out. I'm like, yo, that's fucking wild. The warehouse scene, the Batman warehouse scene where he's just fucking up people, that was also wild. The Batman versus Superman fight was just honestly, like really fucking really fucking just very underwhelming in my opinion. But I mean, I liked it. I liked it. It just wasn't where I wanted it to be. Because this is the Trinity. This is three of the most recognizable comic book characters ever, on screen at the same time. This is the first time that's happened in a live action movie setting. They have dozens of DC animated movies, but this is the first time there's a live action movie. This is a fucking big deal. And unfortunately, they couldn't, take full advantage of it. That's sad. What is also sad is the fucking milking of Naruto. This is also extremely fucking sad because Naruto has been supposed to have been over since I believe October 2016, and his new episodes are still coming out. I'm just like, when will the filler end? Like, if they want to do Boruto, just stop fucking making Naruto episodes and start on Boruto. Please, please, please stop. Just seriously, please fucking stop. Please stop doing this. Please, please, please stop with the milking of Naruto. I really hate when they fucking milk. And fucking Naruto is good for that shit. Like, at least Bleach, when it had filler episodes, the filler episodes were actually enjoyable. That they actually kept my interest because the fucking fights were cool. And the characters were actually pretty decent. But Naruto, no, it's just, come on. The only Naruto fillers that were actually good were the Itachi fillers, because it actually gave some backstory to Itachi and his childhood, because Itachi is one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character in all of Naruto. So being able to see him as a kid, and see what led him on the path he went, that's fucking amazing to me. Also, the Infinite Tsukuyomi episodes where Yamato actually was the fourth Hokage, so they were like inside the Infinite Tsukuyomi, and we get to see what would happen if Naruto's dad was actually in his life, and he was Hokage around the time Naruto was, a genin. And I'm just like, yeah, that's fucking interesting, because we don't know what would have happened. That's one of the most sought after things that could actually, in Naruto, and they gave it to us. So I'm like, I appreciate that too. But I'm like, what is left? They fucking finished off Madara. I'm like, well, what is left? Honestly. And oh boy, that was just the media portion of it. Well, partly the media portion. Now we fucking get to the real issues. So the things that, okay, so in I think around August or September, I came across a YouTube channel called The Amazing Atheist and Andy Worski. And these two guys, I love these two guys. I really do love these two guys. I every time they have a new video, I sit there and watch it. If not then, the day of. Like every episode, every video, I love them. But unfortunately, I fucking put myself into the fucking lion's den. I don't know what I did to myself. Their content is amazing, but I wasn't aware of what was happening around us. Guys, you need a safe space from this. You need a safe space. Like, the fucking SJWs. So, actually seeing these two guys, also, I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. It started with Armored Skeptic, then it moved on to The Amazing Atheist, and then it also moved on to Andy. So I watched these guys, and they just kept filling my head with things that were happening, and I was like, oh, what is this? What is happening? So now my fucking life has become researching about social justice. Oh my lord. Like, it's, oh god. Before, I would not pay attention to this shit, and now it's almost all I pay attention to. I'm not mad about that. I'm just like, oh my god. But jeez, like before, my cognitive critical thinking was just on philosophical things, the metaphysical parts of the world, spirituality, the human condition, existential nihilism, absurdity, all that bullshit. But now it's also on social justice and fucking trying to figure out the fucking logic that comes out of these people's mouths. And thankfully, I haven't found it yet, because then I would be just as fucking crazy as they are. It's really fucking bad. It really fucking bad. And one of the reasons why I really think it's bad, because it fucking puts a hold on censorship. Well, I'm sorry, it increases censorship. Putting a hold on censorship would actually be a good thing, but it increases censorship. And you guys probably don't know this about me because I've never fucking said it, but I enjoy free speech. Free speech is probably the thing I am most thankful for, as an American citizen, as just a person. I'm appreciative of free speech. I appreciate the right to say whatever the fuck I want. I mean, within reason. Free speech means you have the ability to say whatever you want, and the government will not actually stop you. Like, you won't face consequences from the government. Within reason, of course. If you fucking do a bomb threat and you say, I have a bomb, and you say that, then they're gonna they're gonna fuck you up. But if you don't say anything like that, you can say whatever controversial opinions you want, and the government will not get involved. However, is that to say that no one will get involved? That's a no. That's not a guarantee at all. It's probably guaranteed that people will get involved, unless your fucking opinion is retarded, and then no one is gonna care because you fucking retarded. But if you actually have a decent controversial opinion, then people will probably listen and probably retort. But they fucking stop that. Like, anything that fucking interferes with their safe space, anything they don't fucking agree with, is just, well, it needs to leave. It needs to fucking go. It can't be here. I don't like it. It makes me think. That's just fucked, okay? Society's fucked when people don't want to think. And I don't mean, people don't want to think, all the time. Like, nobody wants to think about shit that's hard all the fucking time. Well, some people do. I am sometimes one of those people, but even I have my fucking idiotic moments where I just retort into my fucking cocoon of idiocracy, where I'm very comfortable and I enjoy myself. I let myself be stupid from time to time, and then I come back to the intellectual side. That's the balance that I have. Idiocracy and then intelligence. Of course, I'm always intelligent, but I just don't show it off. But unfortunately, these guys just want to cut down on censorship. The shit that you can say, the shit you cannot say, and I don't enjoy that, because free speech is fucking amazing. Hate speech, not amazing, but free speech is amazing in my opinion. I can say whatever the fuck I want. I can say the fucking Yankees suck. I can say that fucking niggas will never overcome. I can say anything I want within reason, and the government won't get involved. That's an amazing thing. That's an amazing thing. And the government will not get involved. You can say whatever the fuck you want. Because in North Korea, you probably get shot for most things. You get shot for many forms of expression. You really. So I am very appreciative of that. Really. Maybe I'm going in too much on this, but that shows just how appreciative I am that I can say whatever. Because I say some really fucked up shit sometimes, guys. I say, anybody who knows me in real life, if you've actually ever hung out with me, sometimes I'm a very nice guy. I think very humble, but my sense of humor, I have a very, very dark sense of humor. So if you have the privilege or the unfortunate circumstance of actually hearing some of that dark humor, then you'll understand. But yeah, I don't enjoy censorship, and the SJWs want to. And then there's fucking the identity politics, whereas like, oh, we're all part of the same race or the same thing, so we must all have the same problems, which require all the same solution. So that's just a no. Okay, I don't like identity politics. I don't enjoy it. And maybe I just used identity politics wrong, but still, I don't enjoy identity politics. I'll admit I still have to do more research into this topic because it's somewhat vague. Like the term identity politics is somewhat vague to me, but that's my interpretation, my initial interpretation of it. And if I choose to bring it up again in another video, then I hope that I'll have a better understanding and be able to do a better representation of it. But for right now, that's what we're going with. So the identity politics, I don't like it because it does not help. Okay, it doesn't help. It really does not help. And then there's also the extreme feminism, which kind of goes into the censorship part. You know, there's always the risk of offending someone, the oversensitivity, and no one's saying you can't be sensitive. And I notice I'm fucking flip flopping apart, but this is all connected, and unfortunately I didn't have a clear fucking path in my notes. So, but it's all affected. It's all relative, but yeah, the feminism and the fucking oversensitivity. No one's saying that you can't be sensitive. However, not everything needs to be brought up to the top fucking level. Not everything means that someone is fucking with you. You know, someone can just be doing an expression just to do an expression. It doesn't have to mean what you think it fucking means. It's just like, well, you're fucking racist. You're fucking sexist. Misogynist. I don't enjoy it. If someone's being a misogynist, call them out on it. Call them out on it. If someone's being a racist, call them out on it. If someone's being sexist, call them out on it. If someone's being classist, call them out on it. But fucking make sure they're being that thing. Make sure that is actually what they meant. And I understand that context is sometimes hard to read. However, we kind of need to make sure that we actually know context before you actually make a judgment. Because you may regret that shit later. Because unfortunately, if you take drastic consequences, they could have drastic consequences. Oh, wait, did I just say that twice? I'm sorry. Drastic actions will have drastic consequences. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say. So you honestly need to be careful before you take action, because that shit could get you or somebody else in trouble, and it probably wasn't even a need for it. So all of that, and honestly, I'm not getting too much into these. I'm just generally bringing up what brings me disappointment, because I'll probably do that in another fucking podcast episode, whatever. But this is one thing that fucking makes me angry. MTV's Decoded. If you don't know what Decoded is, it is a fucking show led by Francesca Ramsey, which deals with issues like race issues. Basically, if you want a whole synopsis of the show, it's basically white people are evil, and everything they do is bad and racist, and everything is their fucking fault. Now, I don't feel the need to fucking defend anybody, but come on, son. I can't just fucking sit, because I fucking hate, I don't like generalizations. And that's also, as far as I know, identity politics. All white people are the same, so of course all white people are evil. That's against everything I fucking stand for. Because something I learned after watching those videos is I didn't know how much I hated generalization. Because generalization does not help. Because you don't learn anything from generalizations. And generalizations are fucking stupid. Generalizations can be used offhand. Like saying, well, hoes or bitches ain't shit. Like generalizations, because those really don't go in. You can either if you're using the term bitches ain't shit, you're either using it like a joke, like you would a meme, like you put a meme and then for some reason the caption is bitches ain't shit. That's one thing. Or if you fucking just serious about it, I'm just like, okay, who hurt you? Like just is offhand. If you're talking to your boy, you're joking around, It's just something funny happens, and then for some reason, bitches ain't shit. Um, that's a possibility. However, if you are in a very detailed thing, if you are in a position where you actually are talking to the masses, and someone may actually be influenced by you, and you should never really take people for everything that they say. Like if someone says something, research that shit. Anything I say, you research that shit. Because I am not definitive. I am not the definite thing. This is just all my opinion. I need you to understand that. It's all my opinion. In case you didn't know, in case you listen to this and you're just like, well, he knows what the fuck he's talking about. I think I know what the fuck I'm talking about. My knowledge is very limited. All I know is what I know, and I'm still learning. You fucking learn too. Whatever I fucking say, you fucking take the shit at at like half face value, and then you research the shit. And that's honestly it. However, generalizations, fucking hate them. If you can try not to generalize, don't generalize. Okay, don't generalize because it doesn't help. Because generalizations don't actually help us learn anything. What are we supposed to learn from? Well, all white people are evil and all black people steal and are criminals, and all the Mexicans are here illegally. What are we gonna learn? What are we going to learn? Because what do you learn from generalizations? You don't learn shit. You generally don't. You don't learn shit from generalizations. So that's why if you can not, oh shit, they fighting. I'm sorry, I'm watching hockey right now. Oh fuck, they're fighting. That's not much of a fight. They fucking stopped it. Yeah, that MTV's Decoded, and also BuzzFeed. Oh, BuzzFeed. If you didn't see, there was in the I think it was a resolution for white guys. And I was just like, the BuzzFeed, what the fuck are you doing? So apparently they had to take down the video twice, and it was met with so many dislikes. They had to take it down twice. Just Jesus, man. They had the audacity to put it up the first time. Then they had the audacity. Then they took it down. Then they had the nerve to put it up again. And I'm just like, wow, okay, you've learned nothing. You've learned nothing, Jon Snow. I don't even watch Game of Thrones, actually. I just like using that term. But he's decoding BuzzFeed. And honestly, it's people like this that actually help with the fucking separation of our country. Separation. Because we're already separated by what? Men and women. Men and women. I won't say directly because of feminists, but somewhat. Men and women. And then there's, basically sex, race, class, religious beliefs. It all separates us. Honestly, it very much separates us. And unfortunately, people like this, BuzzFeed, Decoded, they do not help because they paint this fucking narrative that certain people are evil, that certain people fucking, everything they do is racist. Everything that someone does is not racist. Not everything is racist. Not everything is sexist. That's all I'm trying to fucking say. Like, leave that shit in the past. Not everything is racist. Not everything is sexist. You don't need a safe space. What I feel like is a safe haven. You can have a safe space. Don't get me wrong. You can have some place where you feel you need to be safe or you need to be secure. However, you do not need an intellectual safe space because that shit will leave you dumb. If I had an intellectual safe space, if I was very sheltered growing up, because I'm pretty much a loner, so I don't really go out much, and if I do, I'm usually by myself. I would be very much so not the intellectual I am. Not saying I'm super fucking smart. However, I'm not really. I think as that's all I can say. I think. Won't say I fucking think the greatest. I'm not fucking Jimmy Neutron out here, but I think. So honestly, I gotta give myself some credit. I think. I can't say that about everybody. People should think, but I somewhat think. So you have to think about the things that people say. Don't just take it. And also context. is another fucking thing that I hate. People don't actually look at fucking context. Like, people just say, oh, that's racist, or he said a racist thing, and they don't actually look at the context with which someone says these things. And that really pisses me off because it does not help us as a society. You know, there's not too many things that help us as a society, but there's a hell of a lot of things that hurt us as a society. And it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's unfortunate. All these fucking SJWs, it is very unfortunate. Very much so. Because safe spaces, intellectual safe spaces, are not a good thing. It's not. You don't need to fucking feel safe from ideas. Like, ideas do not hurt you unless your mind is so small that you cannot handle the thought of the appearance of new concepts, which is fucking laughable. Every time I fucking get a new concept, I get fucking excited because I'm just like, oh shit, this is something I've never actually seen before. Now I have a new thought. I have new infinite possibilities with which to examine this and break it down. I fucking love it. You know, the day I fucking found out what nihilism was, and you know, the human condition, I was fucking ecstatic. You know, I later toned it down because that shit is kind of depressing. Honestly, that shit is really kind of depressing. But honestly, I enjoy thinking. I enjoy, you know, discussing philosophical concept. I enjoy concepts. I enjoy actually discussing ideas with different people. People who don't agree with me. Majority of my friends don't agree with me on things. And when they do, they don't agree with me for the same reason with which I think that thing. Or, you know, I'm with that thing, you know, or I support it. And that's amazing. I enjoy that. Because if you have someone who agrees with everything you say, once you actually become challenged by a new idea, how are you going to handle that? Honestly, how are you going to handle that? Because you need to be able to take criticism well. If you don't want to be criticized, you have to, you know, be nothing and do nothing and say nothing. That's it. That's all you have to do to not be criticized. Do nothing, be nothing, say nothing. And that's it. Once you do that, you never be criticized because no one will know who the fuck you are. And that is essentially a safe space. You can't try to be something out here. You can't try to be somebody important, and fucking be in an intellectual safe space. You know, you need to use logic here. Okay, you need to use fucking logic. Like, really. And then the fucking next one. Don't worry, guys. We're almost done. I know this is really fucking depressing. We're almost done. We're getting to the weird stuff. But like I said, this is the whole fucking year. This is honestly the whole fucking year. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, but just bear with me because I gotta get this out. And yeah, people, you can't critique anything without being seen as against it. You know, like, you critique Black Lives Matter, and if like, oh, you can't fucking critique that, like, you fucking hate Black Lives Matter. I'm just like, no, I just think there's certain things that could be done better. Honestly, there's certain things, and that's for everything. Nobody does anything perfectly. There's always a room for improvement. Always. You know, if you have a marriage and you're making it work, you make it work, but it could be done better. You know, that goes for any relationship, business, or, you know, romantic, any fucking thing. You know, I can go with your weightlifting or whatever. If it works, great, but it could always be better. It's just if you're satisfied with it, that's the important part. But it can always be done better. Anything can always be done better. So just remember, just because someone is critiquing something does not mean that they are against it. Unless they legitimately say, I am against this thing, then that does not mean that they are against that thing. If they're just saying, well, you know, they can improve this, or I don't like what they did here. Not liking someone that, I'm sorry, not liking something that someone did or some organization did is okay. That's fine. That's a great thing if you actually want them to improve. You're voicing your opinion. So that's all I gotta say. Just remember that. But yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. The last two things. last thing is these fucking articles that have been coming out in 2016, and they fucking suck. They really are. Like, they were written by idiots, some of these articles. And unfortunately, what's even worse is the articles are biased. Like, they're coming out with news, and the news is fucking biased. Like, they're telling you what to think. They're giving you a narrative rather than just giving you the news. And I hate that. I really fucking hate that. If you're gonna fucking be a journalist, because I actually enjoy journalism, I enjoy reading articles. So if you're gonna be so I take this shit seriously. But if you're gonna be a fucking journalist, take this shit seriously. Actually do your fucking job. Give the news. Don't give your fucking opinion on everything. Give the news. I want to know exactly what happened, not your fucking side of the story. And I know that's inherently flawed because, the writer writes with their bias in mind. So even whatever they write probably never be the objective thing. But do the best you fucking can. Is all I gotta say. Like, do the best you fucking can. Like with Donald Trump in the election and Hillary, honestly, that was not great reporting because there was a lot of biased reporting, and unfortunately, that seemed to have backfired. For a lot of the media. So that's all I'm saying. Just be honest. Be honest. Be transparent. That is what I expect from my newscasters. And I know transparency in U.S. news is not the greatest thing, but at least fucking try. And that's all I got to say. So that's all. That's all for the disappointing moments of the year. I know that's a fucking lot, and I'm really fucking sorry for that. So now we're gonna get to some weird moments. We're gonna get to some weird moments, and it's fucking 36 minutes in. Isn't that fucking amazing? If you actually fucking made it through this, I'm astounded. And now you're going to be rewarded or punished, fucking depending on how you feel about it. Yeah. So the weird moments. So apparently, someone actually wanted to fuck me. Like, not get into a relationship, just like fuck, which was weird. Cause I've never had a woman want to fuck me, really before, like legit, like outright, just like fuck me, just like what? I'm just like, wait, what? Like, you serious? So, I go to a gym near my house in New York and in Brooklyn, and it was this Spanish chick that was there, and she just started working there. And for some reason, the first fucking time I walked in, and she fucking saw me, I could fucking tell something was up. I was just like, what the fuck is happening? What is this? And I was like, I'm a very picky person, which is very fucking weird because I'm not the greatest looking. I used to be like fucking 253 pounds, and now I'm like in the 180s, 190s, and so I lost a bit of weight, so I look significantly better than I did before. I'm in better shape, better health, but I'm just like, I'm not the most, I don't see myself as the most attractive person out there, I won't say that I'm fucking ugly. I do think I'm beautiful, but I'm not the best fucking looking person out there. So I'm just like, I'm weirded out when people are like attracted and like outright. And how I knew she liked me was like the first time I went to get a rope, she was just like, oh, hi, what do you need? And just like, can I get a rope? Me just fucking not with the bullshit. I'm just like, I just want the rope. Just like, oh, yeah. So how are you? And I'm just like, okay, all right, oh, okay. It honestly made me uncomfortable to go to the desk because I'm like I told you, I'm a loner. I'm a lone wolf. I'm like fucking. I'm not used to fucking people wanting to involve themselves with me. Like, I usually have to be the motherfucker doing the fucking involving. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a shallow dude. I will only really talk to women that I am attracted to. Well, that's not true, but most of the time, I will only talk to women that I am attracted to. I mean, that's not all the time, but they're nice to look at. But that was fucking weird for me because she just kept flirting with me, and she even told my friend who also worked at the gym. She's like, yeah, somehow it probably came up in the conversation somehow, and he came to me and he fucking said, dude, she thinks you got like a big dick, and I'm just like, wait, what? What? Like, wait, what? I'm like, what did she say? She's like, yeah, she says you have like a timid personality, but she thinks you have like a big dick. He's like, he probably has a big dick. I'm just like, okay, she has the timid part, right? Because I'll admit I'm very timid. I'm to myself, but I'm just like, mine is average. You probably didn't get on this podcast just wondering about how my dick is, but it's average. Honestly, it's average. That's as far as I get into it, for your sake. But it's average. So I was like, I'm very sorry to disappoint her. I'm very sorry. And even the other one, another time was just, I was eating peanut butter from a spoon, because that's a notable thing I do. I eat peanut butter from a fucking spoon, like from the jar. I have a spoon with me in my book bag that I wrap in aluminum foil. And don't worry, I don't keep it in there for too long so it doesn't get really fucking crusty. And whenever I'm finished with it, I make sure there's really no peanut butter left on the fucking spoon before I rewrap it. But I was doing it, and I like to lick the peanut butter off the spoon to actually simulate me eating pussy, which has never happened. I've never done it, but to simulate eating pussy. And she was just looking at me hard body, and I was joking with him. I was like, yeah, Luan. He's like, yeah. I'm gonna eat the pussy. I'm just like, this is how I eat the pussy. And she's just like, I hope not. And I'm like, wait, what? So not only was she just like, I hope not, because when you eat this pussy, you must do it better. I'm just like, my pussy eating skills are weak. My imaginary pussy eating skills are fucking weak, which I didn't know how to feel about, because I thought I was doing pretty good. But so yeah, that was it. Thankfully, she left, so I wasn't really, I wasn't really uncomfortable anymore. She left, so that was weird. But the other weird thing about it was, she had a boyfriend at the time. She had an actual fucking boyfriend, and I was fucking weirded out, because this is like the third fucking time this has happened to me. This is the third fucking time. This is also the third fucking time that this has happened to me. Is like, this woman had a boyfriend. So yeah, this is the third time this happened to me, because I met one chick in a math class at my college, an algebra class, and she, which I found out later on, had a boyfriend, which is why I me and her stopped messing around. I mean, it wasn't very long. It wasn't that long, but she just like, we just stopped messing around, because I got my first ever and only technical relationship. I got cheated on, so that's why I don't do that shit. I don't know. I have a stupid honor code, because I could get way more if I just didn't have that honor code. But I gotta be fucking Mr. Honorable, the Bushido code. I gotta fucking abide by that for all that bullshit. But that's honestly how I am. If given the choice, I choose that choice every time. Almost every time. It depends on the circumstances. But I didn't know the circumstances, because if I did, I definitely would have fucking hit it. I would have, because it wasn't that substantial. It really wasn't. It wasn't like this was like a fucking in love thing, but whatever. So that's weird. Like, she had a boyfriend. There's another one, another girl I met in February at the gym, also had a boyfriend, and she was just like, I could have, but I didn't, because I thought she fucking wanted. It was a weird fucking situation, and I'm very young. I really am very young. Like, it was just my birthday, fucking yesterday, fucking New Year's Eve. But I'm very fucking young in terms of relationships. I'm very fucking young in terms of playing that. So it's fucking weird. Like, every woman that's attracted to me somewhat, or I have a decent chance with, has a boyfriend, and I do not like that shit. I find it really fucking weird. Really fucking weird. It makes me very uncomfortable. But yeah, so that's another weird thing. Also, Another weird thing is a woman came up to me when I was walking to school, and she was talking about Dunkin' Donuts. So this old, probably Haitian woman comes up to me, and I'm thinking that she wants directions. So I'm like, I get closer because I have bad hearing, because I constantly have my fucking headphones on full blast. Whether I'm in the gym, not in the gym, at home, whatever. I always have it on full blast. People are concerned about me, but I don't care about myself, which we will get to in a bit. Actually, that's next. But I don't care about myself. Um, but but I thought the woman needed directions, so I got closer, and she fucking actually she was just like, "Oh no, don't do the closer," and I'm just like, "Okay, all right, buddy, calm down, chill." I always like to keep things very very fucking on the low, and so keep things calm, keep things stable. However, however, unfortunately, fuckingly, this woman was she needed someone to talk to, so she thought about on Dunkin' Donuts. She's like, Dunkin' Donuts, the headquarters is in I think it was fucking she said fucking North Dakota or Vermont or some shit, but it was out of New York. So she was like, if the employees are rude, I can't call anyone here. I have to call them. And she had a paper with the number and everything. She had a paper with the number, Dunkin' Donuts headquarters. And I don't know who gave her the fucking number. But it was just like, you look in Dunkin' Donuts, and every time you see who work there, Indians, right? I'm just like, yeah, man, yeah, word. You never see anybody else there. I'm like, nah, man, nah, I don't see anybody else there. So I'm just trying to keep things calm and keep things cool. And unfortunately, one of my problems is I give too many people, I give too many people too much of my time. Honestly, I'm somewhat a writer, so I like seeing new experiences, and I'm a creature of logic, so I won't really do anything that fucking jeopardizes me besides being lazy. However, anything outside of that, I will not jeopardize myself or put myself in harm intentionally, except for talking for these crazies because they're interesting. Until I'm done with them and I realize that wasn't too interesting. But yeah, she had the paper and everything. She just apparently needed someone to fucking talk to. Apparently, she fucking needed someone to talk to. But next is Black Friday 2016. So I went to a comic book shop, St. Mark's Comics, and with some of my boys, and we fucking walking around. We're walking around. There's like four of us, and we had to drop our book bags off at the front, which we did. We obliged. And this little white woman starts following us around, and I'm like, mind you, two of the dudes are fucking talking about Power Rangers, and I'm just fucking walking around listening to the conversation. So I'm just like, what the fuck are we gonna do? Are we just gonna fucking transform? Really, is that what you fucking expect? We're gonna transform and rob all the comic books? So it was really fucking weird. I'm like, really, four fucking nerds are fucking talking about Power Rangers, and you're following them around. Mind you, three of us were black, and one of us is white. The Spaniard, but white. But I mean, I doubt that matters. It might matter, but I don't think it mattered too much. But still, it's just fucking weird. Then we went to Forbidden Planet, which I went to on my birthday and found some good comics, some Funko Pops. But we had like a code purple, and what me and my friend like to call a code purple are pretty much all the crazies or all the erratic people who come in who kind of have little quirks that don't make it easy to talk to them. Because me, I'm not a great conversationalist already. Because I talk like an old man. I have to understand everything that is coming out of someone's mouth. So if they fucking talk too fast or they're not clear, I have to make them repeat themselves in order to help them, in order to understand. That's how I have to go. So I'm very slow in that regard. But so one of them actually walked in because we have a local comic book shop in Flatbush, and one of them walked in. So it was a fucking weird occurrence. Thank God he didn't recognize us or didn't care, but it was just fucking weird. But then the next weird part comes when we go outside, and there's a comic vendor who's like, he has a table full of single issues, and he's just looking around. Excuse me, and he's trying to sell us these comics. So we just start looking, and I'm not with the shits because I gotta piss. I really gotta piss. So we're on our way to Best Buy in Union Square. I really gotta piss, so I'm not with the shits. So he's just looking at us, and mind you, we spent a lot of our money in Forbidden Planet because I spent about like 40, and a friend of mine spent some money at 2 comic book shops already. So he wasn't feeling with the money. So then the guy says, "Yeah, I know how that feels. I've been there before." And he just starts fucking laughing like, oh. I'm just like, this is fucking creeping me out. It really was. Because I call myself the weird weirdo. But, I mean, damn, I think I took this name. I mean, no, I deserve this name for other reasons. But in terms of, like, that, I can't match that. Like, that's a level of meme, like, autism that I cannot match. I just can't match that. I can't go that far. I can't get up there, man. I can't do it. So, honestly, he just fucking weirded me the fuck out. Then we go to, so I walk the fuck away from that. And then we finally get to the bathroom, and then we go to a pizza shop, Two Bros Pizza, and we're all sitting down. Now, there's 5 of us. Another guy shows up, and we start talking about Toriko and One Piece, because, well, 4 out of 5 of us are Toriko and One Piece fans, and those chapters just happened to come out, and so we're talking about that, and then this black guy starts getting into an argument with one of the guys who works there. So apparently the guy who worked there fucking bumped him or shoved him or something, and the black guy was just not having it. He was just like, "Whoa, why you shove me, man? Why you fuck shove me? You didn't have to shove me." Which honestly, I can't blame him, because you know, you get shoved, you feel some type of way, especially if the dude doesn't apologize. So now the person who works there is trying to apologize. He's like, "My bad, man." He's like, "You didn't have to shove me, man." So now we're just watching this, and everybody starts looking at me. They're like, "Yo, you're the biggest. Fucking, if something goes down, you gotta break it up." And I'm just like, nah, just like fucking nah. That's the weirdest part. Like, people think just because you have somewhat big muscles, you fucking know how to fight. Like, you got to take care of all the danger. Like, if you have bigger muscles, you're usually worse in a fight. You're usually worse in a fight because you fucking probably punch slower unless you've adjusted. And believe me, I have not adjusted. I have not done that. It's not happening. So that finishes, thankfully, without anything going down. And then we all go our separate ways, except me and my friend. And then we get back home. We get back to our area so we can walk back home out of the train station. And then we just start hearing a loud yell. And as we get closer, we can hear out words coming out. It's just like, you gone, bitch. And I'm just like, wait, what the fuck? Just like, what the fuck is happening? So you gone, bitch. And we're trying to get some context on what happened. And then he's just like, I said, "I've called the FBI and I'm pressing charges. You're done, bitch." And I'm just like, okay, all right. He was going in with it. He's just like, "You tell her that she can get the hell out too. You're gone, bitch." And I'm just like, oh my, okay, all right. He was good. So he hangs up the phone, and the last thing he says is like it's a fucking movie line. "You gone, bitch." And I'm just honestly, it still makes me fucking laugh. He hangs up the fucking phone. The phone is down, and as he's walking into the train station, "You're gone, bitch." And I'm just like, oh my, it's done. We're done. We're done. We're done. We really are fucking done. We really are fucking done. We are a great society. Honestly, we are a great fucking society. You know, we really are. We really fucking are. So now, I am gonna get to the fun moments, or what I thought was fucking fun. So, I gotta say, I met some great new people in 2016, honestly, and I've gotten to know people in 2016 better, honestly. It's much much better. So I'm thankful for all of them. Um, then also I became a lot more social as a result of meeting those people, and I'm a bit less of a lone wolf. So now, I have people who I can actually hang out with, spend time with. So I'm thankful for that. Uh, Also, I actually started to read Toriko this year. If you don't know Toriko, it's a manga made by a man named Mitsutoshi, and it ran for about 8 years, and ended honestly the week before Thanksgiving, which is fucking ironic because, well, somewhat ironic. It's fucking funny because this is actually a food manga. Like, it's a food religion for a manga. It's a food religion. Honestly, if you don't know Toriko, fucking read it. I was reading probably 40 chapters a day. 40 chapters a fucking day, or at least 20. 20 to 30 chapters a day until I actually caught up. Because it was fucking amazing. Like, it's just fucking macho, macho, fucking macho. It's beautiful. If you want to see fucking blood, like the fucking, oh my god, the art is beautiful. Like, if you want to see fucking gore, if you want to see fucking big muscly dudes just pummel the shit out of each other, watch Toriko. Like, but I'm sorry, read Toriko. But you can also watch it. But the anime ended kind of quick. Like, they didn't get to finish it, and they're probably not going to, because the ending of the Toriko manga was rushed. But it still was a somewhat satisfying ending. Like, I can't say it sucked. I can't say it sucked. Like, it continues the story, except we won't see it unless there's a continuation. But it honestly was great. Honestly, was very great, and it affected me because it kind of showed me action sequences that I never, thought could exist. And so, because this year, I decided to actually take my writing more seriously. Like, I actually want to be a writer, and I want to take my writing more seriously, and uh, so I've actually started, taking my comics. I've started a comic book series, which is gonna be about memes and fucking outcast and shit like that. And there's gonna be a meme world where memes come to life, and there's gonna be a yin yang world and a whole bunch of shit. Like, it's gonna be fucking wild. Anything I can fucking think of is going in this story, no matter the fuck what. Whatever I want. Literally whatever I fucking want. It's gonna be kind of like JoJo, except it's gonna be a bit more wild. I mean, I can't really say that, but it's gonna be more wild than the first few parts. And speaking of JoJo, I have also fucking started watching JoJo, and a friend of mine put me onto JoJo in October. Like, for some reason, I watched the first episode, and I was fucking hooked. Like, Phantom Blood, not the greatest, but it fucking hooked me. So I spent, no, excuse me, the last few months catching up. I caught up in about a month. I was usually September to October, but I finished in October. I watched all the JoJo episodes that were out. I must have watched at least 5 episodes a day. 5 episodes a day, because I had to finish from Phantom Blood, which was 10 episodes. No, I'm sorry, 9 episodes. Then Battle Tendency, which was 16 episodes. And then I had to go into fucking Stardust Crusaders, which was 48 episodes. 48 fucking episodes. And then crazy, Diamond is Unbreakable, which at the time was about 33 episodes. And then I had to wait for the last 6 episodes because it just ended. So now part 5 is going to come out sometime 2017. And then a friend of mine put me onto Tower of God, which is this manhwa, this webtoon, which deals with individuals going up this tower. It exists somewhere, but it's fucking amazing. The first night I actually started reading it, I fucking actually just fucking, I couldn't put it down. I read 50 chapters over the course of 5 hours. I didn't stop reading till 5 a.m. I started around 11 and I didn't stop reading until 5. Oh my god. So if you want to fucking destroy your life and you want to ruin your life, just read it. Just read it. Just read it. And honestly, I bring those stories up because those stories have influenced me a lot because I've realized things that can work and why they work. And it's looking at like building upon things and building and building. Like Tower of God, it builds upon concepts because the end of every chapter is a cliffhanger, and that's a really fucking big thing, and in storytelling, especially in comic form, in the graphic novel format, you need cliffhangers to bring people into the next chapter, and they do that better than about any series I've ever seen in my life, or read in my life. Maybe One Piece comes close, but this one just fucking does it for me, yo. I'm pretty sure there are better series, but I have not found them yet. Um, so that's in terms of my comic inspirations. Now, in terms of my novel inspirations, because I plan on doing two novels, like working on two novels. At first, I was like, I'll work on them a little bit at the same time, but I'm just gonna work on one, then work on the other. And it was 2016 was a year that I also first became introduced to Charles Bukowski. Now you might know Charles Bukowski, but you might not. He's a famous writer. He's dead now, but famous writer. He's written a bunch of books like it's dirty realism. So it's not like fantasy or anything else like that. It's realistic, but it feels like everyday life, but it's interesting. Like it's our innermost emotions, us at our most vulnerable, us as people, the good side and the ugly side. And I was mesmerized by that. So a friend of mine gave me Post Office, which is the first novel that he ever wrote, and I fucking read that baby in about 2 weeks, or maybe even a week to 2 weeks. I couldn't put it down. I've read it twice this year. I probably will read it twice, 2017. And then I read Women, which is even better than Post Office. And then I read Ham on Rye, which is probably equally as good as Women, but a lot more hard hitting. So every fucking book, he's great. He's fucking great. And he's also a poet, and I love his poetry. It's like his poetry was partly what inspired me to actually, write poetry again. Like, so that was a fucking big thing for me. Like, it's a really fucking big thing that put me back on track. I'll get to the poetry thing in a bit. Honestly, I'll get to the poetry thing in a fucking bit. And I also started on, screenwriting. But the big thing, besides the poetry, which I'll get to in a sec, is starting, doing podcasts. Like actually starting to recording things. That was a big part. That was a big part of my time because once I do something, I honestly think, what the fuck was I doing before I started doing this? Because I honestly couldn't imagine not doing this. Like these shows are probably shit, and not many people watch them. But I honestly wouldn't stop doing them for anything. Like these are fucking amazing. The fact that I can actually say whatever the fuck I want, and people will actually listen, or I can actually make things. It's fucking amazing to me. So I have a friend of mine, the Jabroni God, who has his own show, the Jabroni Show, and he decided to start a podcast. So I listened to episode 1 and I was hooked. I was like, okay. He was like, he honestly just said whatever the fuck he wanted to. He said his own guidelines. He said whatever he wanted. He said his own topics. He said whatever the fuck he wanted, and that was his whole show. And I was mesmerized by that. I'm like, I can do that. So I decided to do it. I got a mic, and I started actually doing it. If you listen to my episode 1, which thankfully I'm pretty sure not too many people have, I sound nervous as fuck in that. I really do, because that was the first time. I sound nervous as fuck. And every episode after that, I sound a little bit better. And now in this episode, I'm just like, you can tell I don't really give a fuck. Like, well, I'm gonna say whatever. But I honestly fucking enjoy it. I'm hooked. Like I really was. So thankfully to him, he fucking got me to actually, do this. And I'm so thankful for that. I really am. He probably don't give a fuck about it. He's like, nigga, do whatever you want to do. I ain't taking no credit for anything, but I really am thankful, because I don't know if I would have done this unless I actually heard him, like somebody else who's not really, well known, or I can't really say has any incredible special talents, any natural talents or whatever. I'm pretty sure he does have them. He's very creative, very opinionated, but equal playing field. Like if someone else like that can do it, someone similar to me, I can do it. So I'm thankful for that. That in my head, like I've started this show, the Indecent Exposure Show, which is the main podcast channel. Then there's shit that never happened, which is where I tell stories that never happened, but you listen to them anyway. Then there's the Weirdo Zone, which is where I take news stories that are somewhat weird in nature or unorthodox, and I talk about them. That is honestly my that is honestly my excuse to act like an idiot. Like just say whatever the fuck I want. That was my excuse for that. And then the last one is Weirdos Talks, which is a group podcast, honestly, which is where me and a group of people talk about just certain things, whatever the fuck we want, honestly. So I'm very thankful. And I really don't plan on stopping doing any of this anytime soon. Anybody who listens to this, thank you. Like, honestly, to anybody who listens, any to two or three of you, even one, I'm very thankful, and I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. Um, so that was all that. That was honestly like a lot of the fun times. So now let's talk about why I started doing poetry again, which was somewhat because it's not really an easy way to actually talk about this shit, but I sort of fell in love at one point this year. So the girl that I met who had a boyfriend at my gym, but not the one who wanted to fuck me, another one. But like I honestly like kind of fell in love. I honestly kind of did. I was like that was months ago though. Like we're not together. Like she kind of let me know that yeah, this is not gonna go as far as you want it to, kind of, because I wasn't where she kind of expected me to or whatever, but like I didn't meet the standards is basically all I'm saying. So that is the reason why we are not together. Like I still talk to her, but it's not that manner of relationship anymore. And I honestly very much care about her, but I've been able to tone down my feelings, which you kind of have to, or else they'll fucking destroy you. That's all it is. But like, I kind of fell in love with her. Like I cared about her fucking a lot, and she was actually the reason why I wrote my first poem in 2 years. Like I had this poem book, and I actually lost it in 2013, and I didn't write shit since I didn't write shit since then because I had a whole bunch of poems. Like I took this creative writing class, and the bug for poetry fucking got to me, and I couldn't stop writing. However, everything I wrote was in that notepad, that book. And once I lost that, I don't know where I put it or if it fell out of my bag or whatever, but I couldn't write anything. I honestly couldn't write anything. I just fell out of it. So I stopped writing because I couldn't remember how to write. As retarded as that sounds, I'm like, you wrote the fucking poems. How can you forget how to write your own fucking poems? That's how it is. Honestly, sometimes when I stop writing for a while or I can't write, I have to look at old poems so I can remember my voice. Which I don't know if that puts me as an amateur or whatever, but that's just the way it has to be for me. So I lost that, and for 2 years I had no inspiration to write. And so when I met her and these intense feelings fucking came up, I was compelled to fucking write. I really was. I was compelled to fucking write. And this was honestly after she told me, like, yeah, it's not going to go exactly as far as you want it to go. So we initially decided to get to know each other better because that was part of it. Because initially she was convinced that I didn't know her. I didn't know her well enough to say that, which she probably might have been right. Like the feelings were there, but I think the complete understanding of who she was not. Because my friend likes to talk about, well, you don't actually understand, you actually don't know the person that you're with. You just understand the idea of what you see, or you like the idea of what you see. So I can understand that, honestly. That's a very fair thing, because once you bring the word love in, that changes a lot. That's not something to be taken for granted. That's honestly not a little thing. So, well, that was a fair request, honestly, because that affects two people. It honestly does. It's not an easy thing. So, I actually on July 4th, she went on a trip to Trinidad, and I wrote a poem. I don't know why I fucking wrote a poem. I just opened a notebook and I fucking wrote, and it just clicked. And I showed it to her, and she liked it, and I just kept fucking writing. I really did. I kept fucking writing, and it was just fucking weird. Just fucking weird writing, and it felt so right to actually write poetry again. And honestly, I know this time I will never stop. I will never fucking stop. Also, the thing that helped me was like Charles Bukowski. Once for like 10 years, he didn't write shit. So I'm like, if he couldn't write shit for 10 years, and he can come back and write these novels and poems that were fucking amazing. I'm like, I after 2 years, that's not enough time. Like I know I can fucking do better. So honestly, I can actually that's the reason why I write poetry. So I will never stop. This time I'm not gonna stop writing poetry. This time, and so she was a major inspiration for that. And I do want to get to know her better. It's actually very weird, like being around the person. But essentially, the relationship, the nature of the relationship changes. But it's not. It never hurts to get to know a person better. It really can only really help the relationship. Unless you're just both like some toxic fuck, then yeah, it might hurt it a little bit. But I mean, honestly, that's about it. That's about it. Oh, and the best thing to do if something like that happens is keep yourself busy, which is why I'm so fucking glad that I started this podcast because it keeps me busy like a motherfucker. My writing keeps me busy. So, generally, try to keep busy. This is all I got to say. Now, it comes to the part of how I've changed in 2016, which is a number of things. We are finally getting to the stretch. We're trying to get into the home stretch. This is the last thing on my list. Um, Pretty much. Oh, and I've realized I am a fucking retard when it comes to being. When I have a crush on a woman, I just act more retarded than usual, because when I am not in on have and I don't have a crush on someone, I can think logically and all that stuff. But when I'm have a crush, when I get feelings, it's just out the window. So that's one thing I've definitely confirmed. Um, yeah, but I've studied more Eastern philosophy this year. Like I studied like Tao, Zen, stuff like that, Buddhism. Like I've researched more of it, so that's kind of helped with my mental conditioning. It's helped me think more logically, go slower, stuff like that. I've also researched more Western philosophy, as I kind of said before. Then oh yeah, my appreciation for memes have gone up fucking what 1,000%, because the memes in 2016, boy, it is too much. Like it was too much. And I watched JoJo, so now all the JoJo memes that I didn't get before, I get all of them. And I want more I need more JoJo memes. Like it's too much. Like all of them, like the Kermit memes, with the T, the fucking yo mind if I hit that yeet. Like everything in 2016 has become a meme. And I'm not discussing this anymore in this episode, because I'm gonna do an episode on memes by itself. I'm going to discuss all the memes of 2016. I'm going to go into my memematician mode. That's a term I came up with, a memematician. This is a man who actually, it's like a mathematician except it's with memes. A man who understands and teaches memes. So that's a memematician. I'm not a very good one. Friend is better, but he hasn't done an episode on it yet, so I'm gonna do one. Is basically that. I've also realized I can, for some reason, fucking do impressions of people. I hear someone's voice, and I see the way that they talk, and I hear the way that they talk, and then I can somewhat imitate it. Unfortunately, it sucks because I can't do it if I don't try it after too long, or I don't hear the voice, it starts to become unfamiliar, and I start to lose my skill with it. It kind of started when I tried to do British accents, because I've also decided I want to be a voice actor. So I'm gonna have to try and find my way into that. But it's kind of. I'm sorry, it's fucking late, but I'm trying to do the best I can. But yeah, it started when I kind of do like little accents, like British accents, like, oh, I don't really understand exactly what you're talking about. Could you elaborate on that for me? I don't know what the fuck you heard, but I hope that was British. And then Australian. I can't do an Australian accent anymore. I can't. I can't do it. I used to be good at it, but I don't do it anymore. I haven't done it for months, and there's no hope of me doing it. Irish accent I can do somewhat. Well, you don't understand. I think you actually need a little bit of a slap in the arse. All right, I'll admit that wasn't very good, but it's like it's very late, and my throat is a little dry, so it's very hard to do impressions when your fucking throat is dry. I'm just kind of sick because it's cold. But honestly, that's a lot of it. I've also I've also uh, 2016 was the year that I ventured into Filthy Frank, which is not very good for my psyche. My psyche, my psyche. I kind of fucked up there, but yeah, my psyche. I had to take a little break. But yeah, Frank has not been good for my psyche. The first day I actually saw Filthy Frank, it was just in the. Oh my gosh, I'm watching the Twilight Zone right now. Isn't that rape? No, but the Filthy Frank, it was just bad because I found myself just watching Filthy Frank episode after Filthy Frank episode, and it was terrible. It was terrible, and I loved every fucking second of it. I really did. I just like I couldn't have enough of it. So yeah, that wasn't very good for my psyche. That just put me into more madness. So if honestly, if I ever send you memes, that's 2016, and this is the great age of memes. Honestly, this is the great age of memes. It's too much. We're oversaturated in memes. That's honestly. I send people memes. We talk in memes now. It's just fucking terrible. It really is. It's fucking terrible. So this is the great meme. Remember. When you look back on 2016, this is the great meme war. This is the great meme war of 2016. You will tell your children about this. Okay? You will tell your families about this. Okay? Your descendants will know. They will know. And I want to wrap this up because I'm tired. I even fucked up the fucking editing right there. But yeah, so what I hope for in 2017. I mean, I hope to, achieve all my goals. I hope to actually have a completed comic because right now I only have a script that I have to edit, but I have its general foundation. I hope to actually get a comic book together, physical comic book. I hope to get a book of poetry together. I hope to hopefully finish my novels. Hopefully get screenwriting done. Get that off the ground. So honestly, yeah, I hope it's I hope this year goes pretty good. Honestly, so that's pretty much everything I got. I think this went on for a little too long, but I enjoyed doing it. I hope you enjoyed listening to it. Whoever hears this, if you could make it all through this, all the way here, shit, that's amazing. Really though, thank you. I really appreciate it. I really hope you enjoyed it, because I honestly don't know what the fuck what fucking business do you have being this far in the video if you didn't enjoy it. But yeah, I'll see you fucking degenerates later, and hopefully you enjoyed your new year, and hopefully 2017 goes well for you. All right, peace.